I just left my house. I have an emergency situation. My boyfriend's trying to come seek my kid. I don't have anywhere to go.
I'm seeking an assistance with my 1-month-old baby. We have nowhere to live. Emergency live assistance.
Lady, I believe.
I'm calling because I'm trying to see if possible.
I got married in 2010. There were red flags from the beginning, but I was so in love that I didn't want to notice it.
I had gone to file a restraining order against my husband because I was being abused verbally, physically, mentally. The day that I had filed it and gone back for the injunction to be lifted, I had planned on actually lifting the restraining order.
I remember like one morning I got up and he was already drinking that day.
I thought that everything was going to be okay. I was actually afraid to have my child as part of a statistic of a divorce.
So I got my daughter ready and we were just gonna leave and let him cool off and come back later. He kicked me down the stairs while I was 7 months pregnant with my son. And then when I got down to the floor, he was running behind me and picked me up and threw me up against the wall again and started choking me out in front of my daughter.
My husband had disappeared for 16 days and had gone to Mexico without me knowing. Left me at home with my child and my 2 stepchildren. He had returned after his trip. That night, or actually 2 days later after he had come back, he had started getting text messages from some woman that he had met over there. He was constantly accusing me of cheating on him numerous times. He actually became so enraged by me confronting him that he had taken me into the bedroom, forced me to have sex with him. He raped me. He threw me into the closet. He hit me twice. I had a busted lip while my son was screaming, "Don't hurt my mommy."
At least in my case, I feel that it was my fault, and I felt that that he might be right for what he was saying or doing, and you start blaming yourself and you try to change and do the best you can. He will say, "I'm sorry, I won't do it anymore," and you want to believe him.
I had one incident. I was in California. It was me, my ex-husband, and we had a ghost writer and a friend with us, one of football players. And we are going to Woodside house, one of a couple friends. And I remember he asked me in the car, "Sabrina, I need to know if the guy that you dated in the past, you slept with him. I need to know that." And we all waited together for 2 years. And I was like, "Look, just kids, doesn't matter, was in my past." And he was in the car, asked me all the time. I have to know that, because how you cannot tell me I'm your husband, I need to know everything. And I didn't know how to act, and I just, I don't want to tell if I kiss or in the date, and he wants to know details. With so much pressure that I say, yes, I did, and doesn't mean anything. And I remember he's pushed me in the bathroom, and I remember he's stroked me to the wall. And I remember, and I mean, punched my head. I mean, punching my head, and I just was apologizing. Didn't know. And I remember running to the room, and I saw bleeding all over the place. And it was the whole night.
Vamos entrar no ginásio, você vai abrir pra mim. Então, primeiro a gente vai fazer aqui. Eu quero que você faça uma lanche de cada vez, tá? Isso, ombro pra trás, deixa alongado, vai, dobra e desce. Deixa eu ver. Eu quero vai um pouco mais pra trás. Ajeita esse pé um pouco. Traz ele mais pra cá. Blanket and everything full of blood, and I tried to wash, and all my earrings was disappear. And I went to the bathroom to wash my face. And I remember looking in my eyes, and I had black eyes. He thought he was right. And I thought that I was wrong. I had to go to a late lunch that day, and I put a makeup to cover. Put a little hat. I was used to do. I had a lot of hats, and I put a hat, and I went to dinner with 8 people, and I just sit with my head down.
He made me believe that he was, if I wasn't with him, I have nothing. And he told me, he used to tell me that I was nothing.
I thought I was doing something wrong. I really did.
You believe that?
He isolated me from my parents, from my grandparents, from my friends. People I had been friends with for over 20 years were no longer my friends. I couldn't even call them because they had changed their number. Like, they had wanted nothing to do with me.
My child had seen me get hit. He had seen me be verbally abused. My stepdaughter had seen it. All 3 of my children had seen it.
And they say that they asked us, well, why didn't you just leave? I couldn't.
I didn't want my son growing up thinking that it was okay for women to be treated like that and for him to treat women like that. My mother was part of domestic violence.
I couldn't. Not that I'm a weak person. Not a weak person at all. It's hard, but it's hard to stay there. You know, it's hard not to stay there. It's just so many things are going through your head, and you just endure so much that you're like, your self-esteem just starts dwindling down.
But with me leaving his father, he has a better chance in life not to be that type of person. But I broke the cycle. I took my child out of it, and I'm proud of myself for that.
It's hard to make friends with people, and it's hard to trust people because of what I've gone through, what my kids have gone through. It's hard on my children, especially my son, whom I was pregnant with through most of the abuse. He has a really bad separation anxiety. I didn't want my daughter to see that. I didn't want her to think that that's how a man is supposed to treat a woman. And I don't want my son to think that it's okay to hit a woman or to talk to a woman like that.
How much do you love mommy?
A lot.
From here to Japan? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Not to the moon and back? I thought you loved me to the moon and back.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
From here to the moon? Mm-hmm. And how much do you love your brother?
1.
From here to the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Or from here to another country?
From here to other country.
Ooh. Aw, that's sweet. Can you give your brother a kiss? Oh, that's ooh.
You do not hit anyone.
Yes, about 4.5 years ago, I had everything that a married couple wanted. We had the house, the new cars, good jobs, money coming in. Started looking at Facebook because my ex-wife showed a big interest in it, and picked up on it pretty quick. So quick that I was able to go into other messages that I shouldn't have been in, and found out that my ex-wife was messing around, just one day everything gets flipped upside down. She told me that it was time for us to go our separate ways, that she was taking Dylan, our son, with her. I kicked back in my lazy boy, started dozing off, and I was awakened by hands around my neck. She had a tight grip, and when I finally got them off, she had long nails. She scratched me all the way down to my chest. You know, I'm a man, I got upset. I knew that any reaction at that point was gonna take my son, away from me. My neighbor was outside with her little dogs, and when she saw me full of blood, she ran inside and got a frozen pack of peas, put them on my neck, and called 911. Cops show up, guess who comes running out of that house? My ex-wife. Cop asked me what happened. I told him. He asked her, and she said, yes, I did it. He's a fucking asshole. He doesn't deserve to live. He's not a man, and this and that and the other thing. The officer told me I'm gonna arrest her. I said, don't do that in front of my son. That's something that he can't see. No matter what bad he does, the lady did, or the person does. No child deserves to see that. The next day I got an injunction. Within that time, might I say, she was arrested 2 times for breaking that injunction.
Do you know what? I have to get out. Because if I don't get out, he's gonna put me in jail or he's gonna kill me. I'm gonna lose my daughter.
There was people out there that could help me.
And a friend of mine told me about SAMI and No More Tears. And I had the courage to call, and that was the best thing I ever did in my life.
And the one that stuck out in my head with the most was No More Tears. Only because I was tired of crying. I've been crying for 6 years and I was tired of crying. And I just thought the name was really nice.
She said, you're gonna find an apartment, you're gonna rent an apartment, we're gonna pay for the first 2 months.
I actually called Somi, and she said, I want you in my office today at 2 o'clock.
To get a job, get a childcare for your daughter, and then we're gonna get a lawyer for you. She gave me all the information for the lawyer.
I talked to someone at No More Tears. They said they were gonna send me like $200 to help me like drive down here to Florida, and that when I got here that they would have like some place for me to go.
Many times I had to call her in the middle of the night. She was next to me.
I got here and No More Tears put me in like this hotel and told me that everything was gonna be okay. And lady called and checked on me every like hour.
And Somi had actually sat with me for an hour and a half. I went without a lawyer, told her that I didn't need one, that I was going to drop the restraining order, and she had sat with me for an hour and a half, and she actually talked me into doing what I needed to do.
It was more of, I am going to help you. We are going to get you out of here. You don't have to take this. You don't have to be beaten on.
It was almost like a relief, like somebody had actually opened my eyes finally to make me realize that I had been being abused.
Now I'm going to help her. I'm going to put her in a hotel with your daughter, and I'm going to help her all the way through.
I decided I wanted to go to school. I found this awesome program that I wanted to be a phlebotomist. So No More Tears paid for me to go and become a phlebotomist.
And I went to school. I got my dental assistant certificate.
Found me a place to live. Paid the security deposit and the first month's rent, and was very proud of me when I got a job.
She made sure that, you know, my son was okay, and she sat and talked to me and helped me fill out paperwork and told me whatever I needed to do, that she was going to be there to help me through the steps, that she could do it. We could do it together. No More Tears has helped me out tremendously. If I need a phone call to talk to somebody, if it's her or one of her volunteers.
Someone just encourages me, you know, tells me everything's going to be okay.
You put me in the Quality Inn yesterday. I called to give you my room number. It's 3286. And I want to thank you. I got actually a good night's sleep last night without being afraid. I'll be here till you come and get me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.